I had to come get underneath this tree. It started to get a little windy and I got a light rain. So here are my final thoughts. Nobody wins in a situation like this. This is a very unfortunate event, you know, between a domestic partnership. Everybody loses. There's no winner. It's very unfortunate. And I think based on the evidence here, it really is going to come down to a he said versus she said type situation. Their stories don't quite match in some things. For example, she said that they were packing his things, and his statement was that he came over to get some clarification after something that had happened over the weekend, and during that clarification they got into an argument, and then at that point he wanted to get his things and leave, and she wasn't letting him leave. So really he said versus she said. We weren't there. We don't know what happened. Only they know what happened. And another thing that comes to mind is, what did she think she was signing up for when she decided to get with a guy who had a history of domestic violence? He is also a fighter. You know, that's, in a lot of ways, that's similar to a combat veteran who might suffer from PTSD. And what I mean by that is, you're trained to do a certain job. He's trained to be a fighter. He's trained to fight. That's what he's hardwired for. That's what his livelihood is. That's how he makes his money. That is his job. So an average person that doesn't live that lifestyle can't understand how he's wired, how he's thinking up in his head. And her being, you know, everybody, all these girls and stuff, they want to get with these guys that are solid dudes like that, that are lions, but they don't want to see what the lion does, so to speak. So what did she think she was signing up for? I mean, again, he had a history of domestic violence. He picked one girl up and slammed her down. That was wrong. He had no right doing that. The other one, he hit her and knocked a couple teeth out. That also was wrong. He had no reason to do that. But again, if you look at not just fighters lashing out like that, you look at combat veterans and they come home and they have similar things that happen. So the point that I'm trying to make is, when a woman wants to get into a relationship with someone who is a fighter or someone who is a combat veteran, it's almost unfair to the woman, because you have to try a little harder in the relationship to not push them to that point. And I'm not saying that once they hit that point that it's justified. It's not. But you got to remind yourself, what are these people wired to do? You know, what are they built to do? What is in his DNA? He's a fighter. Doesn't justify it. Now, when it comes to the charges and him getting arrested, they charged him with domestic battery. I disagree 100%. To me, domestic battery, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong in the section down below in the comments, but to me, domestic battery is when one household member causes physical harm to another member of the household, which did not happen in this case. He picked her up because she was throwing a temper tantrum, and he moved her to another room. He didn't harm her. He didn't punch her. He didn't kick her. He didn't bite her. He didn't pull her hair. There was no marks on her. They both said that. Even in his statement, he said, I didn't have any intentions in hurting her at all. He even gave her her phone after he let her go. So that wasn't domestic battery. That was false imprisonment. False imprisonment is when you take someone against their will and you put them somewhere or hold them against something. And it could be done physically, and it could also be done emotionally, like mentally. Like you could make a threat and say, if you move, I'll kill you. Something like that. He didn't do that. He did it physically. That's what he knows. He's a fighter. She was throwing a temper tantrum. He put her in timeout. I don't feel that he did anything wrong as far as battery. Now, he was wrong in the event of holding her. You can't do that to people. But if you think about his track record, he picked a woman up and slammed her. He hit one and knocked her teeth out. And then you dismiss that for a second and you look at only this case right here. And look at what happened right here. He picked her up, moved her, gave her her phone, and then she ran out to the balcony and called 911 and claimed the victim. Right? What that shows with him, and I'm not defending him, and I'm not taking his side, but what I am saying is based on his track record, his history, he is clearly showing an improvement. He's showing an improvement, meaning he's not beating her up. He's making an improvement. That means he's working on his problem. So we got to give him credit where credit's due, but yet at the same time still hold him accountable for the things that he needs to be held accountable for, and that is you can't pick people up and move them against their will. The better choice for him may have been to call an officer for, or just leave and come back another time. Or for her, maybe she could have called an officer and had a referee show up, so to speak, right? So give credit where credit's due, but yet hold him accountable still. Now here you got a man who comes to clarify something that happened. Apparently it looks like they were living together. He shows up, they get in an argument. All he wants to do is get his things and go. I want my stuff and let me out of here. And she's over here, rah, rah, rah. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it appears to be that she was following him around, not letting him leave and yakking at him when he was trying to disengage and she was trying to engage. You can't do that with people that are wired the way he's wired. Let him go. So in my opinion, he's the one that got in trouble and got arrested, but who really imprisoned who here? Think about it. Who imprisoned who? Everybody gets mad at a lion for being a lion. And when it comes to this incident, if he wanted to hurt her, he could have done anything he wanted to her. Easily. And he chose not to. So let me know in the comments section down below, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm off in left field? Let me know. Let's have a healthy conversation down in the comments down below. Please respect each other. There's going to be all kinds of opinions floating around, and everybody needs to stay cool, state what you think, but don't be, trolling on each other and stuff like that. Just let us know what you think down below, and let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video or unlike it. I don't care. Leave comments. If you like the content that you see on my channel, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Choose all notifications. That way when I upload content, it'll give you a notification that there's a new video out. And I'll get more traction. And that helps me. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day. And we'll see you next time.